Good afternoon, my lovelies. It's 12 o'clock and we are back on the barbecue series at the Queen's Curry Kitchen. So welcome to everybody that is tuning in. Today I have a very exciting episode for you because we are talking about adding some oomph to your 4th of July barbecues, and you can do it right at home, or if you're going for a picnic, you're going out, you can totally do these tips and hacks and take it along with you, right? So I've been getting a lot of comments, and people are saying that, we love how you build the entire meal around that one item that you grill. So I'm going to continue with that. And today, in the time that it takes for us to grill all these vegetables, we are also going to put together an arugula salad with citrus segments. We will put together a simple guacamole, and we will make some bomb garlic bread. So that is the plan for today. That's on the agenda. So for everybody that is tuning in, welcome. We are not going to use any store-bought garlic bread, but we're going to use something like this, which is easily available in the supermarket. Nothing exotic. I'm just going to teach you some regular seasoning that you can use to really add so much more flavor to your barbecues. So this is, I think, two for $1.70, and we're going to use this. Usually when you get the garlic bread that you buy at the stores, it's loaded with butter and it's actually soaked with olive oil. So we will actually be controlling the amount of oil and butter that goes into this into this bread by making it ourselves. And we will take the help of some butter, we will take the help of some fresh herbs and some dry herbs to do that. All right, and we are also going to use a store-bought box of arugula salad. You can see this thing is like $1.65, and I'm not even using the whole thing. So I've taken out what I'm going to use, and even after that, this whole box is left over. So I really try to do inexpensive things that you can do to put together a flavorful meal, and you never have to sacrifice taste, right? So let's get this process started. I'm going to flip the camera just a little bit so you guys can see. I've done a partial prep, and I will familiarize you with that in just a second. Okay, so the vegetable choice that I've taken today, and I'm doing this with vegetables, but I'll give you a quick rundown of the seasonings that we're going to use. And I'm doing it with vegetables, but if you have an omnivorous family where half the people like meat and half the people don't like, I'm going to show you all these seasonings that are very readily available, and you can actually make a beautiful barbecue marinade just from this. So the vegetables that I've chosen today are summer squash. I have some carrots, and of course my favorite, mushrooms. Okay, so for the summer squash, what I've done is I've cut the tips off, and then I've cut it into thick slices, right? If you are that vegan vegetarian person that goes to a barbecue and really there's nothing for you to eat except lettuce and ice, I feel your pain, baby. So you know what? Just take your vegetables, take them in a Ziploc bag with all the marinade and everything, throw it on the grill before anybody else touches the grill, and you'll have a good meal. Okay, so I've taken them and I've cut it into, I washed it really well because we are going to keep the skin on. And then I've made little gashes into it. You see this? So this is where the salt and the marinade is going to go in. The carrot is just, regular organic carrots, and I've slid it and sliced it lengthwise. And these mushrooms are just good old mushrooms from the box. I actually wanted to do this with portobello mushrooms, but for some reason they were not available this morning when I went to look for them. So we'll just make do with what we have, okay? Now coming to the seasonings, I just want to quickly, since today we're doing like a barbecue mix, so the focus is really on something that's a combination of sweet and salty. And typically when you think of barbecue mix, you think of store-bought barbecue sauce, right? Something like this. Now what you can do is you can use this just to finish off your dish. But if you start out with building your own flavor profile of sweet and salty, it can be a very successful thing, and it can be unique to your taste buds. So some of the things that can help you are something like this, which is a chili garlic sauce, which is also popularly called sambal olek, or if you have sriracha, that can work as well. Some other alternatives are that you can use a chili garlic sauce. This is more of an Indian Pakistani brand, but if you have the Thai sweet chili sauce, that can do pretty much the same thing. You can also use something like chile lime seasoning, which is actually from Trader Joe's. So you can see I'm not using anything exotic. This is just real life ingredients that we get in our supermarkets every single day, and you can make it your own, right? So this is chile lime seasoning. This is crushed red pepper, which has a little bit of heat. And then I have something very unusual. So this is a pineapple salsa from Aldi. And you can even use something like this to add flavor to your barbecue, right? So the process that we're going to follow here is we will hit it with some dry spices or some dry ingredients. And then once it's done grilling, I'm going to finish it off with barbecue sauce. So it's going to have a really nice taste. If you live in an apartment and you cannot go outside and do barbecues, I will tell you a simple technique that can add smoky flavor to your dishes. Right now, I want you to just take a look at what else I have. So when you do a barbecue, you want, especially if you're vegan, vegetarian, you want to do a variety of tastes and textures. So I have this, which actually wilts down, but also can maintain a little bit of a crunch if you don't overcook it, which is why I've cut it a little thick. The carrots, of course, add their own sweetness, so that's really nice. It balances out whatever heat you're using from your seasonings. Mushrooms have that nice meaty texture. And I've also boiled a regular sweet potato. You see this? So 7 minutes in my Instant Pot. You can do it in any pressure cooker or in a saucepan. And I've peeled it off. It doesn't take that long. It's just I need it to cool a little bit. And I'm going to grill it, so it's going to have a nice charred flavor. So you can cut it lengthwise like that. Or you can cut it into medallions. So you can also cut it like this. It's totally up to you what you prefer. Since I'm doing everything lengthwise, I'm going to keep this lengthwise as well. And you can see that they're not 100% cooked. So when they go on the grill, they don't fall apart. Otherwise, they tend to get very sandy and fall apart, right? So for this, again, the same thing that I'm going to do is I will add a few gashes. Don't cut all the way through. I can see some people that are tuning in. Anjali, welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. We are doing a veggie-based 4th of July barbecue. Okay, so I'm going to dress these vegetables first, and then I'm going to go down to this because it's a little delicate. So let's get started with this. The first thing that's going to go on is good old Himalayan pink salt. Nothing fancy. You'll see how simple this is. Like, I'm not even doing any rocket science to this thing. I'm definitely going to add some lemon juice, a splash, just to moisten things up a little bit. I will add a dash of the chili garlic sauce. If you like it on the sweeter side, use chili garlic. If you like it on the hot side, just use sriracha and save the sweetness to be added by the barbecue sauce all the way in the end, right? I will also add some dry Italian seasoning. You can add garlic powder. That actually works really well too. In all like southern kind of barbecue dishes, that works really well. And I'm going to add some chile lime seasoning. So it has that nice tartness, but remember we also added lemon juice, so you don't want to overdo it. If you don't have these vegetables, if you have, let's say, eggplant or something, that works absolutely fantastically too. Just give it a good massage. You don't want to overdo the salt because we will be finishing this off with a coating of barbecue sauce. That's all you need. You don't need all of it. You can just pick and choose whichever one is closest to the tastes that you like. And everything that you like in terms of taste, you can actually translate it into a vegetarian, vegetable-based barbecue. I am going to add just a little bit of oil. And the good thing is when you're doing any kind of vegetable barbecue, when you're adding a marinade, you really don't have to give it too much time. It pretty much is ready to go on the grill right away. If this was a chicken dish or shrimp, you need at least a minimum of half an hour before you can actually start grilling the thing. So right here you can see I have a really hot pan going. I'm going to hit it with some oil. In the time that it takes us to grill these vegetables, we will also do an arugula salad with citrus segments, and we will also be creating our own garlic bread. And we will be making some guacamole, yes. So you're never too far from eating a well-planned meal. So you can see I've covered my stovetop with tin foil because this is New York and nobody got time to keep cleaning, right? Okay, so it's nice and hot. Make sure it's very, very, very hot. And this is not a non-stick one, so if it sticks, it sticks. Like, I don't know how it's gonna be because I haven't really used this one. This is my new one. I have one from before, which kind of got rusted because I did not take good care of it. I have a handful of mushrooms, and I just like to pile them on right here. So mushrooms are the ones that cook the fastest. But you can pick and choose. And I feel like if you're the person in charge of the barbecue, then, you know, plan it in a way that all the vegetables are on the grill at all times, so that anybody that wants to mix and match can do it. So you can do yellow squash, you can do this one, summer squash, whatever rocks your boat, honey, just do it. Make it your own. If you have any pet peeves, or if you have any challenges that you've had with going to vegetarian barbecues, or not knowing what to do, or running out of ideas, drop it in the comment section below. I would love to see what your experiences are. Just a quick wash of pan. Alright, so in the time that that's doing its thing, I'm also going to go and sprinkle some salt on my sweet potato. A little paprika. Nothing fancy, nothing elaborate, just a little paprika, and that's about it. So when I have some room here, I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to bring you over to, so this is going to do its thing. I have to keep an eye on it. Why don't you come with me right over here? Why don't we get started on the salad? Okay, so this is my salad. This is my arugula from the box, as you can see. I also have some citrus segments that I'm going to add to the salad. And I think I'll show you how I do it. Because a lot of times we try to replicate those expensive salads that we get in the store. But we're like, how do they get the oranges to be so perfect? So you see this? These are the segments that I'm talking about. Hello, Mr. Mathur. Welcome to Queen's Curry Kitchen. Thank you for joining us in our vegan vegetarian barbecue special. So these are the citrus segments that I was talking about, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. I did half of it and then I saved the other half so I could actually show you how it's done, right? Getting rid of some of the trash. Okay, so I peeled the orange, and you want to take a big orange in this case. You don't want any of the tiny ones because it's very hard to get in. And then you start from these segments. So you see these white lines? Basically, make sure you remove all the white pith because that's bitter and you do not want to eat that. So get rid of that. You need a small paring knife. Listen, if you're Indian, you definitely have one of these. Oh my God, I cannot even tell you. You have to have this if you're Indian. Otherwise, you cannot qualify as a desi. All right, jumping right back into making the segments. So what you want to do is you want to go in on either side of this line, right? You want to go in very gently. Just saw like a sawing motion, like that. And then you want to go in like that, but not straight. It's just a little bit angled. So you're trying to stay on either side of the membrane so that when you pop it out, you actually get a clean segment. See that? Yeah, baby, I got skills. Let's do one more. So you see the membrane is attached on either side. Now you can move on to the next segment and then cut on this side of the membrane very thinly. And it gets better with practice. So don't lose heart if they break, if they're not perfect. Doesn't matter. You're going to bite into them anyway. And learn to make your defects into effects. So if it breaks, just chop everything in half. And say, yeah, I meant it like that. So you know what? Own it. Own your creativity. That's one thing I learned in design school. And this is the last one. So this will actually tie in very beautifully with the sweet and salty, sweet and savory theme that we have going today. If you have veggie bacon bits, you can use that. I'm just, giving you all the ideas so you can pretty much make it work for whatever it is. And I also have these globe grapes, which I have de-seeded, and I've cut it in half, and I'm going to toss that in here. I'm going to put a little bit of the orange juice that came out. I do have to get back and jump onto the vegetables and see how they're doing, so why don't you come with me? Let's just get under there and see what is going on. You see that? Oh my God. Do you not want to eat that thing like right now? I know you do. But this stupid corona won't let anybody go anywhere, won't let anybody come to anybody's house. So you know what? I teach you the tips and tricks so you can do it yourself. Or you can take one of my classes. If you're a beginner, if you're an intermediate cook, if you feel like you have some kick-ass advanced level skills, you can take my advanced classes. All of the information is on my website, www.queenscurrykitchen.com. Haha, this is looking so good. Look at all the charring on the mushrooms. Jesus would be so proud of me if he was around. Look at that. Oh, and it smells really good. It's simple. So I do smell a little bit of the garlic and the herbs. I smell a little bit of the lemony thing from the chile lime dressing, from the salt. But other than that, it's just really simple. So you don't have to have any master chef skills for something like this, right? You just need a good grill pan that obeys you and a family that is patient so you can actually do this and put some love into your food. You don't have to cook some detailed curries or anything elaborate that requires overnight cooking. Ain't nobody got time for that, bro. Ain't nobody got time for that. Seriously. People have lives that they need to live. And if you're still working from home, you can actually make a big batch of these grilled vegetables and put it in the fridge, and then you can use it in so many different ways, okay? So while that second round is going on, what I am going to do is I've made the salad. It's ready to go. To this, I'm going to add... Were you with me when I did this tutorial on the probiotic vegetables and the brining of the pickle? So this is my homemade probiotic vegetable kraut, and this has cabbage. It has some onions in a vinegar and salt brine. So I'm just going to put live on air, and I don't take any calls during that time because I'm with you, baby. I don't believe in divided attention. All right, so this salad is really good to go. I'm going to take some of this juice and add it in here. I don't want it to be creamy. I don't want it to be a heavy salad. And all I'm going to do is I will go in here, give it a nice gentle toss, and I will put it in the fridge to chill. I am expecting a lunch guest. Yes. So I will put it in the fridge to chill. And then just before serving, I will add some unsalted pumpkin seeds to this, okay? Well, I can't get to my fridge because my camera is right in front of it, but whatever. All right, so I had promised you that we will also make a guacamole and we will make some garlic bread. I'm gonna go ahead and increase the flame on this so we can do this fast. Hello, Nalini. Good afternoon, my love. How are you? Thank you for the hearts. You're so generous and so kind to me. I love that. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate that you take the time to come and hang out with me every day in my kitchen. That's so sweet of you. Alrighty, so you see these mushrooms are pretty much done. They're the fastest ones that happen on the grill. And depending on how crunchy or how soft you want your vegetables to be, you can decide when you want to take them off. You can also do the 90-degree rotation and do like a crisscross. Get fancy schmancy. And this is all happening indoors. So if you can't go to a park, or if you can't grill outdoors and you don't want to take all the stuff and be outdoors, you can eat this every single day of your life. So over the course of this week, we have done an Indian style tandoori. We have done a Mediterranean one yesterday. And today we are doing a standard barbecue style. And then tomorrow I'm going to show you a nice beverage, a nice drink recipe that goes with all these barbecue dishes that we have been creating. So I'm just trying to add some oomph to your 4th of July barbecue. That is pretty much the game plan. Let me bring you closer to the zucchinis and show you how they are doing. It cooks fairly quickly. There you go. And you don't want it to be overcooked. So it's nice to have it with a little crunch. I think it really is very satisfying. I do want to get a little more color on this side, so I'm just going to leave it back here. Bring it to the center. So if you notice, let me lift this up and show you something. This is heavy. So the flame is only up to here, which means that this is the cold part of the grill, right? So you don't want to put anything where the flame is not there because it's never going to get cooked. So you want to concentrate all of your veggies or whatever it is that you're putting. You could even grill pineapples. You can grill nectarines and they taste really good. Right? So you can grill these. You can make them ahead of time. You can eat them at room temperature. You can eat them inside wraps. You're going to... Oh, so Nalini is going to a barbecue this Sunday and she says she's going to try my recipe. Oh my God, that would be awesome. I appreciate that. I'm happy that it's adding some value to whatever you've been doing, even if it means that you're just going to change things up a little bit because you're bored of eating the same old, same old. And if you like what you see, you can always start a watch party on your Facebook page right now. So we can all be doing this together, right? Okay, so I think I have some room over here where I can pull this down. I'm going to bring my sweet potato right over here. Just going to set this down. I don't know how it's going to react. It might crumble or it might just hold up fine. We're about to find out. Right? We can't have all the answers, but we can just keep trying. I'm gonna put this here. I know this is the cold zone, but the zucchini is ready to move out very quickly. So once that happens, we shall be good to go. Now, when it gets to a point where you're just about to take it off the grill, that's when you want to go in with your store-bought barbecue sauce. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks to add sweetness to your barbecue, or that smokiness. So I like to use barbecue sauce, not so much for the sweetness, but because of the smoky flavor and the combination of the heat to the sweet. That's why I like store-bought barbecue sauce, for no other reason. And you see that I don't slather it like people slather it on ribs. I don't really slather it a lot. I just keep it really simple. You take a brush, and the sugars in the barbecue sauce actually help to caramelize and give a little more color to your items, whatever it is that you're grilling, right? So just give it a gentle brushing. Now, if you notice, I did not add barbecue sauce to the mushrooms. You can if you want to, but in that case, just leave the mushrooms whole and don't make them too small, because it becomes very hard to handle it when they get sticky like that. So if you have portobello mushrooms, which I originally planned to do, then this would have worked like a charm. But hey, you know what? We're not complaining. We're happy with whatever we got. And we always know how to handle curveballs, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is the final flip after hitting it with barbecue sauce. If you like it super sweet, you can put barbecue sauce on both sides. I've only put it on one side. Okay? Lalini says, yummy, I love vegetables. Yeah, I love vegetables too. Anything that's green and vegetable-y, I love it. Okay, so one other suggestion for when you're making a platter like this with all your veggies, right? Try to do groupings and sections of the similar vegetables right next to each other. Only because then whoever is picking or whoever is taking their choices can pick from a certain food group. And they don't have to worry about getting mushrooms if they don't like mushrooms, or getting carrots if they don't like carrots, right? So if you're the grill master, that's what you got to be a little bit more sensitive towards, that anybody and everybody should be able to pick and choose, like a cafeteria style, what they like or don't like. Okay, so I feel like these don't need that much supervision right now. I'm going to shift this up. I have a little bit of room here in the hot section. And I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of the carrots. And I have some more of the mushrooms. So yes, it is an act of patience. It is an act of love. But imagine that if you did this once a week, you could have a grilled vegetable wrap on one day. You could have a grilled vegetable sandwich with provolone cheese the next day. The third day, you could have grilled vegetables in a salad. That's 3 days of food right there. You could have a grilled vegetable quinoa salad. That's 4 days. And you can grill all your favorite vegetables: broccoli, zucchini, yellow squash, whatever you got. Okay, now we're moving over to the guacamole. And I'll show you a little bit of the prep that I've already done. Forgive my mess. So in here is one whole avocado. That's right here. I've also added some lemon juice because it was starting to oxidize right away. So I've added a dash of lemon juice. To this, I will add half a white onion. It's a very small onion, so half of this is going to go in there. If you don't like it too oniony, then don't put as much. I also like to save a little bit because I'm going to add it back after it's been blitzed, so I can get some kind of a texture and a mouthfeel. I don't like my guacamole to be flat. So I'm just going to cut it into really small pieces and hold on to it. I also have 2 cloves of garlic that are going to go in. Boom, boom. I have a Thai chili, and I'm only using half because I don't like heat in my food. So this is the whole chili. I'm only using a half of it because it's just super spicy. Just the thought of eating that is making me sweat. Okay, so in goes the salt. Just that. A little paprika. And I think that's about it. I might add a splash of water if the lemon juice is not enough. But you know, we'll see. Let's get the process started and see if it's not. Oh, and where's my cilantro? Yo. Oh yes, it's in there. I forgot to tell you, there is some cilantro that I added too in the beginning, right? So this is going on. And let's see. I'm going to blitz it. I apologize for the noise. But we're going to know very quickly if it needs a little more water, if it needs a little more lemon juice. So it is moving. but I see that the onion is kind of stubborn and it's not breaking down. So what I am going to do is, you see, it's not breaking down as efficiently as I'd like it to. I'm just going to add a little splash of water. Ain't going to kill nobody. Just to help things move along a little bit. Yeah, that's better. I think there's one section of the avocado that is stuck between the two blades. So I think I'm gonna have to move it around to come out of the span, or then maybe go in with my knife and kind of break it a little bit so it'll be moving around easier. Ooh, but you can already see it's coming out to be nice and creamy. Oh, and the smell of the cilantro. Oh my God, so good. Right, so. All right, we're in business. Yeah, so you just pulse it a little bit. And that does it. I have to jump back into the vegetables because I can smell something burning. And that is not. But you know what? I'm here. I got you. Let's see what's going on. Let's get the weather report. Oh my God, look at my sweet potatoes. Don't you want to be here right now? I know you do, right? This tastes really good. It smells really good. Quite incredible. The mushrooms need a little flip. That's all they need. My carrots are probably ready for a flip. They're just starting to get caramelized and I don't want to overdo them. But it's just adorable. See, when you put that kind of love in your food, tell me, why are you not going to feel good after you eat this food, right? Tell me about it, bruh. Alrighty, I think it's time to put some barbecue sauce on this. And like I said, I'm only using a drop here and a drop there, but you can use any amount of barbecue sauce that helps to rock your boat, baby. It's your recipe, it's your barbecue. Make it what you will. And on these mushrooms, I'm probably going to just add a little dot, just because they're behaving themselves and not falling apart. So ideally, if you did this with portobello mushrooms, it would really help to rock the party. I love this thing. Imagine if I could feed this to somebody, how much love they would experience, right? It's all about the love. Do you think I'm goofy? Yeah, I think so. But goofy is nice, right? Gets you in trouble, gets you out of trouble. A little goofiness goes a long way. And if you know me in personal life, you know that I'm all about fun and about joyful living. If it's not joyful, I'm out of there. It's not for me, right? Okay, so that's that. So this is ready to come off the grill. I'm going to give it a good scraping. And pile it right next to the other mushrooms that we got. It's getting hot in here, baby. Alrighty. So we have a good variety. We have some crunchy things. We have some sweet things. We have some salty things. I think we're doing just fine. What are your thoughts on this? Are you still with me? Like, I don't know. No one's saying anything. It's incredibly quiet. Either you just left and you wanted to make your own and you just bailed on me, or then you're just enjoying the experience and drooling and you need to go wipe your mouth. Something's going on that I don't know. Right? Either way, just type it in and let me know. Or I could bring you on camera so you can share your thoughts with everybody. Some more mushrooms that escaped. Go back in there. Haha. Now you know why I put the foil there. Yeah, baby. Ain't nobody got time to keep cleaning this stuff. Alright, these are my sweet potatoes. See, after adding the barbecue sauce, your grill gets really messy. But you know what? It's a small price to pay for all the yum-o-ness of all the food that you're going to be eating. There you go. Okay, so our guacamole is ready. You can see this is what it looks like. It is absolutely bomb. And I'm going to give it a taste. It's a little bit chunky, which I like. Let me just check if it's salty enough. Just gonna take a little taste. Oh man, it is so perfect. You have no idea. You just had to be here. Okay, so this is perfect. I'm going to probably just put some chili lime dressing in it before I serve it. And I will add back the onions that I had spoken about. I've turned down the heat. Now we're going to move on to our garlic bread. And how we do it is we take the loaf, we cut it across, and we slap it on the grill. This is some butter that I've melted. Oh my god, all my melted butter actually went in this frying pan. Alright, no problem. I think there's a leak here somewhere. Because every time I melt the butter, I don't get anything. I just lose all of it. So you know what? Time to switch it out. We have no time to waste any food, and we have no food to waste. That is not a desirable thing. So I have some fresh parsley that I'm going to add to this. Yum, yum. And I'm gonna, whoa. All right, so because all of the butter leaked into the pan, I'm gonna add back all this delicious golden butter right in there. Right, and I'm also going to add, so I'll dip my brush in here. I will put some butter on here. I will put it on this side, and I will flip it. Because you don't want the bread to burn. Since all these bits are already burning, you have to be very careful with your bread so that it does not, repeat, not burn on you. Okay? So we're going to do that. And if you feel like you want to include some olive oil along with the butter, that's a really good trick because it prevents your butter from burning. Butter has a very low smoking point and it starts to burn very quickly. So if you feel like you want to add some olive oil to slow down that process, you can do that. Now this is really raging and the maximum heat is right in the middle, so I'm going to actually move these to the side. I'm going to reach for my garlic powder because that's the last thing I want to add onto my garlic bread. So I like to add it after the bread has been toasted. I really don't like to burn it and I don't like to cook on it. So once the bread is pretty much toasted, that's when I go in and I add the garlic butter. The garlic powder, right? So we can actually wait and give it some grill marks. I'm gonna increase the heat a little bit, press it down if you have to, and you can do this with pita bread. You can do this with any kind of a loaf. You can do it with a focaccia. You can do it with store-bought pizza dough that you can stretch out and make your own, like Parmesan crusted bread to go with your meal. So we have all the components today. The only thing we're missing is probably a margarita, but I don't drink, so that's my story. Morning glory. I guess it'll just be water, right? So in goes the parsley. A little more on this little guy. Now tell me if that's not a vibrant plate that you want to come home to lunch for, right? Just because we're in lockdown doesn't mean that we have to be deprived or we have to be sad or we have to eat sad food. Even for the people that do meal prep, you know, that love to meal prep and think ahead, I feel like if you just prep individual things and then use them in different ways, it just keeps it more exciting rather than putting everything in a box and eating the exact same thing the exact same way every damn day. That does not gel well with me. Okay, so a little bit of pressing actually seals in the parsley onto the bread. I'm going to turn this off. It is now time to plate everything. So the guacamole is going to, whoops, sorry for that. The guac is going to get scooped into this bowl. Let me get the bread off of there before it burns, right? There you go. Wow. How cool is that? Look at that. Now this grill is going to take a minute to cool down. It's not going to happen immediately, so we're going to leave that alone. I'm not going to touch it right now. Once it cools, I'm going to put some water. I'm going to spray water and leave it untouched, and that should do it. I'm also going to use the two last things that I'm going to add to what I just created is I will add some store-bought. Look, store-bought, semi-homemade is always a good thing. Some Parmesan to my toast. That's it. And to the salad that we had so lovingly created, I'm going to go in and add some Robusto Italian dressing. And you can add any dressing. You can just add oil vinegar, you can add balsamic, whatever makes you happy on that day of the week, just do it. You don't need my permission for that, but you know what, when it comes out tasting really good and you take a picture of it, make sure you tag me on Instagram or wherever it is that you find me. Just go for it. Okay, so I'm gonna add back the little onions that I had, and this is ready. Everything looks really, really good. I'm gonna add the pumpkin seeds to this, and that, my lovelies, is an entire platter full of barbecue possibilities. So I've built an entire meal around this, and I hope that you have found some inspiration in what I did today. And if you would love to do something like this, gosh, it was hot in there. If you are thinking of doing something similar, let me know. I would love to see what you came up with. As always, thank you so much for always joining me on these crazy Facebook Lives where we're always discovering new things. And the 4th of July celebration continues. Also, the winners for June's giveaway have been announced, so you should be getting your gifts shortly. It was Rachna from California. It was Hillary from the Bronx, and one more name which I cannot say because she has not yet confirmed her address. Once she does that, I will be able to make it public. So there's a July giveaway coming up for sure. And tomorrow, don't forget to tune in and come back here at noon because I will be doing a beverage for all of your 4th of July barbecue eats. All right. So like again, I said, be blissful, be flavorful. I've said it so many times and yet I fumble sometimes. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's a nice sunny day in New York, so I hope that you're going to make the most of it. Be safe out there, wear your masks, wash your hands, and give thanks for all the beautiful things that we are alive to see in this world right now. As always, I'm sending you blessings and protection for your family and for your safety. I will see you again in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.